We just started cutting our oats hay here, and we've got quite a bit of new alfalfa that we started. This alfalfa was planted with the Kinze corn planter in 15-inch rows, and we went over it twice. We've got a really good stand. We discussed a little bit more on it, but one of the things that I did here when I got done doing this, last year we had 120 inches cut it field here, and we sowed it with a John Deere Van Brunt grain drill with oats in the drill and alfalfa seed attachment. And unfortunately we had extreme amounts of rain, 120 inches. A matter of fact, what was it, 2011 we had this severe drought?
I thought it was 2012.
2012, I'm sorry, 2012. I was on CBS World News, and anyhow, at that time my goal was to get hay and drought insurance for alfalfa, and or some kind of insurance on it because of the extreme weather we was having. So there's no such thing as insurance and making money, but the cost of putting this alfalfa out is really expensive. The seed is, we're at 25 to 30 pounds an acre. And at that amount of pounds of we're talking anywhere from $4 to $6. Alpha-Rex alfalfa seed's expensive, but we're buying something from somebody that just specializes in alfalfa. And when I got done planting this oats hay, I had extra seed left, and I had these spots. As you can see, I've got wet spots that was drowned out there, Lisa. You can kind of just do a panoramic view here. This is the second cutting coming up. We did have to spray it for alfalfa weevil. That's the oats over there. Just stay over here in this field. And my landlord round baled it up for his cattle. And anyhow, I went in here, and I want to show here, Lisa, if we can get down. We had to look for it, but it's here. But we interseeded alfalfa in here on just 15-inch rows, so I wouldn't kill the established alfalfa. And you have to look for it, but it's there. And the problem we're dealing with now, we had all that heavy rain, the ground had got so hard. And this is the thing, you know, you can blame big equipment or plowing or whatever you think for compaction, but the bottom line is when you get a 4-inch rain in about 15-20 minutes, it packs the ground down. It almost seems like that they're dumping something in the rain part of it. Here's another little piece of alfalfa that's coming up. It's right here. You can just, I wish I could open the leaves a little. There it is. And that, but it's here. It just ain't growing because the moisture is not here. So we need rain to save this. I think there's enough of a stubble here on it. That's why I kind of cut my first cutting a little bit higher, mainly so it'll dry better. If you cut the first cutting high, about 2 inches high, you got it off of the ground. As you can see what I did over here. So this is important here. New alfalfa, you don't want to cut it bare to the ground and kill the root and the stem and stuff. It hasn't, but see, it's laying on top, and this will get the air to come through here and dry better. And we're saving all these new roots and stuff like that being on it. So what I did is I tilted my head back on my hay bind. That way, because if you got down hay, sometimes you got to get underneath of it, and then you kind of scalping the hay type of an issue. For those who have Tiff Grass, it is important that you cut that high off the ground, or your Tiff Grass won't come back. I raised that before, and if you don't pay attention to these little things, and unfortunately the day before you want to cut the Tiff Grass, you have a tornado and a storm and it's flat on the ground, and you end up having to cut it all the way close to the ground to get it in your machine, and that sets it back, especially in dry weather, because it just kind of quits growing. If it rains, it'll come back. So being on that, I'm also going to kind of, we can film this a little bit, Lisa.
Sure.
If you kind of notice here in the rows,
Yes.
Let's try the other sunlight maybe direction here.
Okay.
You can see right in here we've got the 7-inch spacings and stuff like that. And this was bare here. I don't know. Yeah. Right here's one alfalfa plant. They're really, and this is in 15, so I interseeded on this. Will it make it? I don't know. It's getting awful dry here. I gotta search for it now in this spot. Oh, here's some. Here's the little alfalfa. It's down here, coming up. It's there. It worked. It was very, when the ground was wet and that, it was taking off pretty good. And the alfalfa was only about this high. It was just coming out of, it was just out of dormancy. And one thing about alfalfa, it needs a lot of sunlight to get it to grow. So you need sunlight and moisture. And we've had a lot of cloudy days. I really like these clouds. They're puffy and they look real to me. And on that part. So anyhow, I've given you some ideas here that you can go in and interseed. I did it with the Kinze corn planter on 15-inch rows here. On the oats hay, if you shine that over
Sure.
that way, I did that with 15-inch and went over twice. So I didn't have to buy a brilliant seeder that cost $25,000. I used my planter, and way off in the distance can you get my planter out of the
Okay.
field. I'm sowing beans in the bottom. Last year I had corn in it. It flooded 7 times. The first 3 times the corn made it. It was about this high, but it sat in a foot of water or 2 feet of water for about a week. Everything was flooded around here at this time last year. So I could almost say this kind of weather right now is normal, but we sure could have used the rain. We're going to be needing a rain here pretty soon. So, you know, the hay's going to quit growing. We had quite a few people that was interested in the oats hay, and I did plant quite a bit this year because I wasn't able to plant any hay last year because of the extreme amount of wet weather we had. So extreme weather has been crippling farmers more than anything else. So I wanted to kind of get that message part out and go from there. Thank you, everybody.